Hey everyone, it's Michelle the Dreaming Dilettante coming out to you with another ephemera video. So in today's video we're going to be making little tabs and some altered paper clips. So these are just really fun, and I'll give you an example. You can see I used a tab here in the journal, and there's lots of things that you can do with these to add just dimension to your art journals. We have some paper clips here, so you can just stick them on a page and then they're removable and you can move them around. So I made a few of those. And then these are just tabs that you can put in your journal, glue down when you're ready to go. So I've made a few here and I'll show them to you. Just as examples, and then I thought we could make a few together. So these are, again, using scraps that I have on my desk. So you don't need to feel you have to run out and buy anything that I have. Just look through whatever you have available to you, junk mail, paper scraps, brown paper bags, all of those things can be used. If you wanted to make these, I'm using jumbo paper clips. These I got at the Dollar Tree. But of course you don't have to, and that's what's nice about these tabs. These would be more permanent because you would glue them into your pages, whereas you can move around the, maybe I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see these a little bit better. There you go. So you can just see a couple of these here. I used a little string. I have a embroidery floss. I have like this little container of just offcuts from projects and things like that. So I just ball them up and use them. So you have a couple of fun little things here, some little ones. The sizes were really just based on whatever scraps I had available. I used a lot of magazine pages and I really enjoyed how those turned out, so I think we're going to work on those. If you don't have magazines, you can use catalogs that come in the mail, regular paper, so don't feel you have to go out and get anything that I'm using. Specifically, you can just use whatever you have available. And I'll always, as I do in all my videos, try to give you alternatives as we're going through the process. So if you don't have what I'm using, that you can try something different. So I'm going to start off using, this is a magazine that I've had for a long time. I think this is about 5 years old. And I'm just going to find an image that is kind of colorful on its own that I can use. That one's a nice one. So these are just some colorful images that I can use as the backgrounds for my tags. Or tabs, I should say. And then I'm just going to cut out the image that I want to use. And this is another thing that I love to do. I mentioned that in the last video. I love to do this as a way to kind of clean up my desk if I've been in the middle of a crafting session. And I'm just cutting these by eye. I'm not using, being even overly careful about how straight I'm being, because you can always clean those up. I think I'm going to go with this one next. I'm really liking that yellow. It's very pretty. You could use your own photographs if you don't have magazines. If you have some, you want to print out some of your photographs, and you could use those as background images if you have some. That would work too. You'd want to print them on a thinner paper, but I think that would work. Like nothing like a glossy, you probably wouldn't want to use. So I'm just going to take these and fold them in half. And then I can kind of see if I want to even it up or trim it up. That one actually looks okay. And then I've been rounding them. I just like the look of it. Of course, you don't have to do that. And if you don't have a corner rounder, you could just round it with your scissors. Actually, I think I might leave that square and just round the bottom, just for a change. And then I'm looking at the stuff that I have on my desk. Now, of course, you could plan it out a bit more and, get specific things to use and that sort of thing. But this is, for me, I like to have these kind of fun I call them almost like a no-think project in the fact that I'm just having a play. I'm using different things that I have available to me on hand, and that's all. So for me, these are fun ways to do it. But of course you could, you know, if you're working on a specific journal, you could make these to coordinate, so you could use certain colors and things like that. I'm just using some, I think it's Fabri-Tac. Yeah, Fabri-Tac glue there to put that out. But you could use any glue. This is a bit of a thicker paper, so I didn't want to use my glue stick. And I have some lace here. I think I might like to add. And I've been really enjoying adding words to the tabs, but you don't have to do that. You can stamp your own words. You could handwrite them. I think I might want something else. Looking through some of my homemade buttons. Yeah, I think I like that. So these are just made out of like chipboard. So if you'd like me to do a little video on making these, I'd be happy to. Go. I feel like it needs a word. Okay, I have some cut out here already. I think I'm just gonna, yeah, like that there. And you might notice there's some spray ink on here. I was using spray ink in my journal last night, and it got over the scraps that I have here. And yeah, just adds another level of interest and dimension. So I think this paper likes to tear if I use the glue stick, so. This is just an old dictionary page that I'm putting down, an old book page. You could use whatever you have. Going to do like that, and you just have a little of that kind of teal color sticking out there. And I think I'd like to add a little color around the edge. So you could use any color ink that you have. You don't have to use the color I'm using. I think this is the walnut ink. But you could use any ink that you have, and if you don't have, you know, this tool that I'm using, you can use makeup sponge. I've used those. I've also just used it right from the ink pad, but it comes out pretty strong if you do that, so just keep that in mind. But like if I wanted to ink the edges, I've used just the ink pad itself and just kind of, so you can get a little effect that way too. So if you don't have a tool, you can use that. Okay, and there's one done, and that's it. That's basically the idea for making these little tabs. All kinds of different sizes, and they're just a lot of fun to make. So I'm going to speed you up, and we'll go through and make a few of these together.
Bright in Is it karma? Or just another drama? Newspapers, or fish and chip favors. Did you make it? Or did you really fake it? And if you're honest, did you break your promise?
Okay, so I thought it would be fun to show you how to make some with the paper clips. So I'm just going to fold my paper like I was, and we'll decorate it as we had been. And I think I'll just use a plain one for this. Actually, this might look pretty. So I think I'm going to use, and all I'm doing is gluing it right about there. Now you can use glue if you wanted to tape it and glue it just to make sure it's really secure. The only thing I'm doing is making sure that the front of the paper clip has, you know, this piece here so that when you go to slide it onto your page, it'll work. So that's the idea. So you can test that out before you do it. But I'm going to decorate it first. And I'm really liking the colors that I have out here on the desk, so it's been a lot of fun working with them. And of course, you don't have to do a lot in the same theme. You could change it up each one, depending on how you're working. I like that. So I just have a whole bunch of little things here on my desk. I have a little basket full of trimmings and that sort of thing that I can add. Take just a bit. There's so much you could do with these and make different ones and all kinds of things. So I think I'm gonna like that. Okay, so then you just want to take your paper clip and then I just added a little glue around the edge of the clip itself so that I could place that where I wanted, and just making sure I'm leaving enough room for it to attach to a page. And then I just glued the rest of it together. And then I'll show you how that works. And then you'll just want to leave that to dry completely. I feel like this needs, yeah, a little something there. Okay, so there you go. It's that simple. Let me show you how that would work. So I have my Word of the Year journal here, and so say I wanted to clip this to the top here, and then you just have a nice little, and you can move it around, you could set it on the side, so, you could set it on the side like that. So they're really versatile, and then they can move from one journal to another. So if you wanted to use it as a page marker for the journal that you're working in, you can do that. But they're so much fun to make, and they're so simple. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you make any of these, please do comment below. I'd love to hear what you came up with. And you know what, let me do a little close-up of the ones I make before I finish up so you can see them. So there's this one here that I made earlier. And then these are the ones that I just made here with you. And this one, I just loved that image, so I didn't want to cover it up. And then here's another one. So I think I was showing you that one upside down. There you go. And then this is the paperclip one we just made. So these would be, you know, a permanent, but the paper clips obviously you can move around. So those are the ones. And now I have a nice little collection of tabs ready to go in my art journal. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you make any, please do comment below. I'd love to hear what you did. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and consider subscribing to my channel. I have lots more tutorials and art journaling and mixed media videos to come. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.